Potential Church, what's up? How are we? How are we this morning online? What's up in the chat room? Say turn, just say lit. Well, I just wanted to hit the Dougie right then and there with that video going on. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm so thankful. My name is Tyler Sterban. Thank you guys so much for being here. And before, I get into everything, somebody asked me before service, they said, why you worship so hard? Why you jump so hard? I said, you should have seen me when they let me out of jail. You should. I haven't gotten used to being free. Some of y'all, that went over, but some of y'all know. I haven't gotten used to Jesus saving me. I haven't gotten used to it, man. I'm so thankful to be here. One, can we make some noise for Pastor Troy, Pastor Steph? Man. So I texted Pastor Troy because their baby girl got married this weekend, Bailey Gramling. We all make some noise for, oh my goodness. Bailey Duncan now, not Bailey Gramling. What am I saying? And I texted him. I said, hey, man, I'm just flying for the day. I got to preach. I'm going to fly in for the day. He said, bro, I'm trying to take a nap. He said, you got me? I said, let me figure it out. And so, man, I'm so thankful. But recently, man, I've been going viral a lot, okay? It's been crazy. My life's been crazy. And I've been able, and over the last 6 months, I've been able to meet some of these preachers that we see online. I've been able to go to their church. I've been able to hang out. And can I be honest with you? I like Troy better. You know why? You know why I like Troy and Steph better? Because, yeah, they're dope on here, but it's easy to be dope on here. It's hard to be dope down there, and they're dope down there. They're even better down there. They're even more wise down there. I love Pastor Troy and Steph so much, and one of the things that I love about them is they have a beautiful family. Like, you know how it's like #goals, their family, all their kids serve in ministry, they're beautiful. And I think it's very easy to be beautiful. It's not very easy to be biblical. A lot of us, we spend more money on photographers to make ourselves look beautiful rather than spending money to get some Bibles in our house to be biblical. And there are not enough photographers in Miami to make your family good. That comes from this word right here. I'm not trying to preach. Listen, I'm trying to be funny. Make me be funny. I'm not preaching. Stop. But man, from Pastor Tyler, Pastor Amber, Pastor Carson, First Lady Jess, and now the deacon and deaconess, Larry and Bailey, man, they have an amazing family. And so cling to them. They are phenomenal people. But like I said, man, my name is Tyler, and what I love about Potential Church the most is the security of Potential Church. One day I hope and I aspire that I have the security that your church has because y'all got kids. We're protecting the kids. I try to walk by, they tackle me, thought I was a homeless dude walking around. Which I'm glad. But then they loved me so much that they took me to the missions department. I got some canned goods for my flight back. This church loves people from security to missions, everything, man. And I love Potential Church so much. And a couple years ago, my wife and I started a church. It's called Different Church, okay? We started a church. It's called Different Church, and we started online first. And what's crazy about our church, we had 1 million followers before we had 1 member. What? I don't even know what to do with my life. I don't even know. People are like, I want to go to your church. I want to go to church. And it's like, bro, sorry, can't fit. I'm sorry, I don't know. And so if y'all would and you guys, every time y'all do offering, anything like that, you got to think, y'all have helped support us to reach 50 million people a year online and all of that. And one of the first big videos that we ever had was on TikTok. And now we're the second largest church on TikTok in the world. Me. But I don't know how I feel about it. I did a podcast the other day. And they flew me out, and I did this podcast. It was a secular podcast, and they don't really know preachers or pastors or nothing like that. And they go, right when the lights come on and the camera starts, they go, we'd like to welcome popular TikToker Tyler Sterban. I said, I'm a thug. I'm not no TikToker. I'm a preacher. I'm a man of God. I'm a mog, right? I'm a man of God. I'm not no TikToker. But it's been a blessing, man, every single day. We reach millions and millions of people. And if you guys just would be praying that we would get a space that could have the security to welcome the crazy people that I reach. But right now we got too many kids to protect. And so we're trying to figure out and trying to go, okay, here's our space now and all that. So y'all just be praying for us. I need it. But in normal churches, and I told Pastor Troy when I came here, every single time I leave here, I get to leave, but y'all send the mean emails when I leave about me, all right? And I told Pastor Troy, I'm not like Drake. I'm on my best behavior. Listen, I'm not on my worst behavior. I'm on my best behavior. I'm not doing nothing bad. Listen, hear me. I'll button it up. I'll button my shirt up. I'll be good. Do not send a mean email. Send it to me. Send it to me, okay? If you're going to send a mean email, send it to me, okay? I'm not trying to bog them up. They're busy reaching people with the gospel. Send it to me. But my church, we don't have like church emails. You know what we have? The comment section. Every morning, I wake up to hundreds of comments talking about me, making fun of me. Some people like me. Some people hate me. I'm like the only pastor whose whole church hates him. It's the weirdest thing. It's crazy, but I think I'm built for it. You know what I mean? Like, I really think I'm built for it. I've been like, I'll roast them up with the best of them. They don't know me. They don't know me. But randomly, sometimes they're like, oh, this dude's ugly. And it's like, okay, cool. Like, this guy's cornball. I'm like, okay, that's cool. This guy's this. Okay, that's cool. Like, but you ever seen someone get creative in the comment section? And don't act like y'all don't like the comment section before we get started. You ever seen like a lady that hadn't been posting her husband in a while? And then she changes her profile picture and it's just her. And there are like 74 comments. And you go, ooh, entertainment while I'm eating. And you hit the 74 comments on Facebook and you just start scrolling. The comment section, we love it. And people love to comment whenever I preach something or whatever. But randomly, not too long ago, one stuck out to me that kind of, made me feel a little insecure, if I'm gonna keep it real with you. And I'd like to show it to you, but not yet, team, because I gotta give you some context. I'm preaching a message on gossip. I know the church doesn't mess with gossip, nothing like that. I just felt in my spirit that I preach on gossip. Potential church, that's not the sin that y'all struggle with, so it's all good. Did you know the Bible, and so I preached this message, I said, did you know the Bible mentions murder like 20 times? Did you know the Bible mentions this like 30 times? Did you know the Bible mentions gossip like 300 times? And I said, we don't hate gossip like God hates gossip. And everyone goes, amen, right? That's good. That's a good message. That's a good message. So I went to sleep that night. We posted a clip or something like that. Went to sleep. I woke up that morning and I had a bunch of comments on the thing. And can I show you the first one that kind of stuck out to me real quick? Can I show you the first one? Okay. Why are y'all laughing? Let me read it to you real quick for everybody up in the smoking section. I know y'all can't read very good. Look at what it says. What about gluttony, bro? Oh, let me go back. I can't read very good. I was on Leapfrog growing up. What about gluttony, bro? You looking a little heavy there. And what really stuck out to me was how many people liked the comment. And I slick saw my wife liked the comment. That's why, oh boy. But then, along with it, it had replies, and that's where the T's at, right? That's where the T's at. So I see this reply. Can you go back? Somebody defending his pastor. Can we go to the next comment? Look at this. Somebody's defending his pastor online. Was that really necessary? And look, 8 people are squaring up in the likes. I'm like, thank you. Fighting for me. What? Merge ref. I'll hire you. I'll hire you today. Just comment back every single time somebody doesn't like me. Yeah, and then another reply. Look at this, another guy fighting for his pastor. Wow, brother. Because that's how I read it. Wow, brother. ... You have major issues. SMH, y'all know what that means, right? Obviously, you were convicted by what he was saying, so you decided to respond like a little child, so petty. Right, yeah, thank you. What is it? The H Wright _1. He's one of the elders of the church now. I like him a lot. But then the last comment, don't show it yet. Then the last comment was another guy defending his pastor. And I said, you know what? Well, go ahead and show him defending his pastor real quick. He thought he was doing something, didn't he? He thought he was cooking. He said, let me eat. He said, watch this. What's the word you see in that sentence? It's a shame, isn't it? That. Isn't it crazy what one word can do? Isn't it crazy how one word can change a sentence? Isn't it crazy how one word can change my day, my week, my month, my year from a human? Imagine what would happen if I got a word from the creator of the universe, how that could change my day, my week, my month, my year, my lifetime, get me into eternity. One word. But we don't know how to get words anymore, do we? I don't know how to hear from God anymore, do we? I don't know how to do it. I just hope something magically happens. A fairy comes in, tells me what to do. I need to find a word for my life. Why do I need a word though, Tyler? That's a little Pentecostal. We don't talk like that. You know why you need a word? Because it gives you vision. What does Corinthians say? Your word is a what? A light to my feet and a lamp to my path. You can have feet, not know how to move them. You can have a path, not know where to go. What good is the path if you can't see nothing? So I need a word. And you know the first place you can go to get a word? Y'all aren't ready for this one. This is deep. This is some deep theological stuff. You know how you can get a word? You open the word. That's it. That was deep, wasn't it? That was deep, wasn't it? Tyler, I went to Bible school for a semester. What you know? I did a semester and I learned that. That was it. You got all my education. $8,000 for that right there. That was it. But I need vision in my life. And when I called Pastor Troy, I said, Pastor Troy, is there anything you want me to preach? And I'll tell you, you know how somebody will say something, but you receive it how you hear it? He said, we're in a relationship series. He said, I want you to preach on parenting. I heard, I want you to preach on them kids. You know what I mean? Like, you gonna get your kid? That's your kid right there. You're gonna get your kid. You created them kids. And before somebody goes, I'm single, this isn't for me. Bruh, you learn about every other thing in the world. You don't use it at all. My wife sends me so many cooking Instagram reels. That fool ain't never cooked a thing in her life. You already know, you watch those shelf organization videos acting like you're about to organize that packet shelf. You are not about to take those packets out of that shelf. You know good and well you need that Taco Bell sauce for the apocalypse. Don't play me, don't play me, don't play me. So before you go, nah, man, this ain't a message for me. If it comes from the word, it's for me. It may not be for today. It may be for tomorrow. It might be for your friend that's a single mom that's struggling. And she goes, them kids though. And you go, ooh, I heard a word. Ooh, I heard a word. We need it. What am I doing with these kids? If you have a Bible, we turn to Psalms 127 because we got to get a word. So where do we run? The word. We got to figure it out. Psalms 127 verse 3. If you have a Bible, you pull it out, your phone, whatever. And you know what the dangerous thing about parenting? Hear me. I do it all the time. Listen, smoking section, you with me? Listen. You know what I'll do a bad job of? I won't break generational curses because I'm bitter about the generational curse. Well, we always did this growing up. You're not the goal. How I was raised is not the goal to raise my children. So I break the curse. I'm not bitter about my mom not breaking the curse. I just break it. And you know what Pastor Troy taught me a long time ago? Like I said, he drops wisdom. We were stacking chairs one day, and he was dropping wisdom to me. He said, you don't even got to tell them that you broke the curse for them. Just let them live healed. I want to go, I traveled to school up in hill both ways. You're lucky I'm in this car rider line right now. You're lucky I'm waiting for these cars. Or I can just be there for them and not tell them we were never affectionate growing up. That's not the goal. Ain't nobody prayed for me. Pray for them kids. We ain't never go to church. Go to church for them kids. But don't be, and here's something else. Listen, and then we're going to hop into the word. And we're so big on breaking generational curses, and I believe in it. Listen, I'm doing it myself. Be careful, though, that you don't break generational blessings. You weren't just handed curses, were you? Some of y'all had a praying mama, and you haven't become a praying mama. Some of you guys had a daddy that worked hard and you don't work hard no more. You can be so caught up trying to break a curse that you break a blessing in the process. I have to realize not only was what was handed to me in a negative way, I had a grandmama. Listen, I had a grandmama that prayed. Ain't nobody in this room prayed more than my grandmama. You better not. I was in prison. She had to pray. She read those passages when Paul was in prison. She says, he's no Paul, but I got to pray. Maybe they'll break. The chains will break. A lot of us had praying grandmamas. We haven't become a praying mama. Can't do it. If you have a Bible, you turn to Psalms 127, verse 3. Look at what it says right here. Let's get a word. Let's get a vision for them kids. Verse 3. Children are a gift from the Lord. They are a reward from him. Children born to a young man are like arrows in a warrior's hand. How joyful is the man whose quiver is full of them. Look at the very beginning. I don't think he's talking about my kids. He's talking about the biblical kids. This says, children are a gift from the Lord. Nah, Satan done sent mine. No. If I believe this Bible's true, this says children are a gift from the Lord. You know the thing about gifts? You got to open them. Don't get mad that the gift is sitting there. You haven't opened it. You open every other package, don't you? Amazon comes, you're waiting at the door. FedEx, UPS, you're broke, Sheen, you know. I'm still getting Temu stuff, man. They got me one time. Listen, they got me one time. My email, that's all I see. I'll wait for any. You give me a gift, I'm opening it. How come when God sent me a gift, I still haven't unpacked it? Because here's the dangerous part. When you don't open gifts, they'll end up taking up space. You know the week before Christmas, you got all the gifts under the tree? And you go, man, this house is a mess. You have a vision for them. Why? Because in a week, you're about to open them. So you put up with it. You would never keep your house just with gifts unopened in your thing for years and years and years. You'll go, this is in the way of what I'm trying to do. If you do not open up what God sent to you in your children, you'll think that they're taking up space in your calling, when in reality, he sent you something to refine your calling. But because you didn't open it, you'll grow bitter towards them kids. And I know a lot of us will go, nah, not me. I'm the Instagram parent. I've got no, don't play. Sometimes, let's be honest, sometimes you go, it'd have been a lot easier if. I'd be a little bit further along if. I'd have a little more money if. But what if there was something inside of them that could do all of those things even greater in your life? You didn't open the gift. And you know how I know that children are a gift? Because I was given 2 of them. I'm a girl dad. And listen. I am the worst person that could have been given girls. I was raised by all guys. Our love language, you know how you take the love language test? You know what our love language was? Swing on them. That was it. That's all I learned. The F word was my second word that came out of my mouth. In my head, I'm thinking, I am the worst person to have kids. God said, you are the perfect person to have kids because I'm about to take you somewhere that I need to refine some stuff in you, and you won't do it. You ever feel like God gave you kids so you'd stop being a kid? You weren't praying for yourself, so he gave you some kids, so now you really had to start praying? You weren't really taking that church thing seriously, so he gave you some kids, so you get your butt in church? You wouldn't stop talking negatively about yourself in the mirror, so he sent you some girls, he sent you some boys that you had to build up, and you had to stop speaking negatively about yourself. Sometimes God will give you a child so you grow up in your faith. And he did it to me, and I'm a girl dad. And my girls have taught me so much, and for a minute, if I don't unwrap it, I'll think that they got in the way, they slowed me down. When in reality, listen, I'm a girl dad. You know what being a girl dad taught me? It taught me how to listen. And you know what being a good listener taught me? How to pray better. I'm a girl dad. You know what being a girl dad taught me? How to spend money. You know what that taught me? How to budget better. I'm a girl dad. You know what that taught me? How to speak kinder. You know what that taught me? How to be a better husband and a better preacher. I'm a girl dad. You know what that taught me? How to empathize with people. You know what that taught me? How to be more like Jesus. If you don't open the gifts that God sent to you in your children, you will think they are taking up space on the way to where God's taking you. When in reality, he sent them because he needed you to learn some things for when he takes you where he's taking you. He wants to do it, and he's going to use children to do it every single time. But you'll think your kids are in the way. I'm a preacher. And I know this is going to make some of you guys that have this is how my sermon's written, okay? All over the place. I don't know. I've always done it. Just always have. I don't type, nothing like that. I write it so I remember it. I don't have to look at it. I write it so I remember it. One day, my daughter's really young, Salem. She comes down, and I left my paper and my Bible on the coffee table, and I leave, and I come back, and she's got a marker, and she's writing all over my sermon. I'm like, no, I can't Control Z. I can't undo. And immediately, the Holy Spirit checked me. He said, you're the only one that can write sermons in this house? He said, slow down, preacher man. You're not the only one. She's been watching you write on those papers. What if she's going to end up writing on those papers one day? You better let her write. What do they say? Let her cook? You better let her. She wasn't in the way. I'm doing something. I'm building something. Something's created. God sent me a gift. But if I don't open it up, if I don't unwrap it, it's in the way. And look at what it says right here. Children are a gift from the Lord. They are a reward from him, whether you think they are or not. You don't get to choose. This is God's word, not your word. I'm not trying to get God to understand me. I'm trying to get me to understand. Y'all can finish it. Verse 4, children born to a young man are like what? Arrows in a warrior's quiver. Why does he call them arrows? You know why? They're powerful. And they're destructive, aren't they? Tear the whole room up. 5 seconds, y'all clean the house. 5 seconds. They're powerful. You know why I know they're powerful? Everyone wants them but us. We're not ready for this conversation. We can't let Disney disciple better than us. YouTube wants them. YouTube spends billions to reach them. Netflix spends billions to reach them. I'm fine if Miss Rachel has them. I'm fine with Miss Rachel. But if everyone else sees the potential in my children, why don't I? People are investing in me. And you know what I'll do? When I'm stressed, I hand them over to YouTube. Oh, y'all don't do that? Okay, that's cool. That's crazy. It's just the biggest company in the world, but none of us do it. Okay, that's cool. I go, here, watch this, let me do something, and they go, perfect. This is why we've been investing in the next generation so hard. That's why I love Potential Church. Y'all invest in the next generation so hard. But Disney cannot disciple our children better than we do. They can't. They can't. They can't. But we'll allow it because they see how powerful they are. And you know the thing I love about it says arrows. Arrows don't just walk around by themselves, do they? No. Arrows go where? Where the archer sends them. You cannot get mad when an arrow goes in someone else's yard, can you? You cannot get mad when an arrow ends up somewhere else. Why? I sent the arrow there. People come up to me all the time, Tyler, my kids don't trust the Lord like I want them to. You know what I ask them? Did they see you trusting the Lord? My kids don't love the word. Did they ever walk in on you reading the word? My kids don't have faith like that. When did you step out in faith and they saw you stepping out in faith? They watched you. You sent them. You sent them. You sent them. They've walked in on me arguing. They've walked in on me, bills all spread out. They walked in on me doing everything. When was the last time my children walked in on me worshiping? Walked in on me praising? Because then you'll go, why'd you turn to the bottle? And they go, Mom. I learned it. When my kids do something, I go, where'd you learn that? Then I turn around because I know where they learned it. I'll say, you need to go do that. And she's like, your mom needs to go do that. I'm like, where'd you learn that? She's like, you told me when a bully gets mad at me, you say your mama. Okay. I sent them. I can't get mad they ended up there. I showed them the way. I taught them how to respond. I taught them how to react. I taught them how to read. But they're in the way. And I never ask, where am I sending you? What am I creating in you? What am I pouring into you? Will, if you want to, come hang out. Thank you, bro. Because if they're really a gift from the Lord, I have to treat them as so. I ain't never just thrown a gift away without opening it. I always think there's $1 million check in there. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, we used to never check the mail because eviction notices were always in the mail. Now that I'm saved, there's $1 million check in my mailbox somewhere. I'm waiting. I don't throw stuff away. I don't leave them. I open them immediately. You are given a child. Open them immediately. See what God's doing. Not just for them. I promise you, where God's taking you, you're going to look back and go, God, thank you for who? Them kids. Thank you. I wouldn't be half the preacher I was without my girls. I wouldn't be half the husband I am without them girls. I wouldn't. What did God send you? Some of y'all got grandkids and you're like, the perfect gift ever. No. Stop. I know Pastor Troy's like, my grandkids, they're perfect. Verse 3, children are a gift from the Lord. They are a reward from him. Children born to a young man are like arrows in a warrior's hand. How joyful. And this is the verse that kind of messed me up. Can I be honest with you for two reasons? How joyful is the man whose quiver is full of them. I read that and I said, God, I love this passage. What about the person who can't have no kids? Who's struggling in and out of appointments? They don't know what's wrong with them. They wish they had the gift. They hate sermons like this because they just sit there, they grit their teeth and go, I wish I had the kids you had. I said, God, what about the quiver that's not full of none of them? What about them? And God spoke to me. He said, remind them their physical limitations cannot get in the way of their spiritual obligations. For somebody, Jesus had no children, yet he's a father to who? The fatherless. The Apostle Paul never had children, yet who? He fathered millions. Even to this day, he is a father to the fatherless. And if you have ever served in youth ministry, children's ministry, anywhere, just because people have parents don't mean they have a mother or a father. Somebody needs you. Somebody needs you. And the enemy has lied. Listen, somebody is struggling in infertility. The enemy has lied to you and said, you'll become a parent when God does something. And God's like, you could already be pastoring and parenting children. Just walk over there, love on somebody. I have done camps and conferences for years where people have two parents at home and nobody to talk to. Don't allow your physical limitations to keep you from the obligations in the spiritual realm. God's got someone for you. God's got someone for you. I promise. But the enemy will lie to you and go, when you get there, sweetie, let me tell you, you are there. You just needed a light for your path. You just couldn't see where to keep stepping, so you stopped walking. He said, no. There's about 500 little kids over there, aren't there? Begging for someone to pray for them. Begging for someone to spend time with them. But then I wrestled again. I didn't grow up like your typical church pastor. It says right here, and I know that we kind of understand how joyful is the man I know we understand that's man and what? Woman. But what happens when there's a single mom who is given all the gifts with half the time? Like my mom, working 3 jobs just so we couldn't eat, just so we had a roof. What about the single mom that is stretched and stressing right now? It's easy to open gifts when you got time. And I don't got none of it. I would ask you, single mom in the room, single mom online, to run to the single mother in Genesis named Hagar. Her family was more blessed than she could ever imagine, not because a man was there, but because she was there. Her family was blessed for generations, not because a man was faithful, not because a man was present, or not because a man was there, but because she was there, because she was present, and because she was faithful. Keep being faithful, single mom. There are multiple single women that have children in this word. Not one of them isn't blessed. Don't allow the world, don't allow social media to hype it up that you need somebody. You've got God. You've got God. So I know my mom couldn't get us to church. She had to work. But I just wrote something down that maybe for a single mom that's like my mom. Can I read something? I was raised by a single mother. You know what my single mom taught me? How to work harder than anyone in the room. I was raised by a single mom. You know what my single mom taught me? How to never take no for an answer. I was raised by a single mom. You know what my single mom taught me? How to have faith in the darkest times. She didn't go to church, but she had faith. Single mom, I would tell you, you're doing more than you think you are, because one day, who knows, your story could be shared in front of millions and billions. Keep being faithful. Keep being faithful. And I know it's hard. I know you don't got no time. I know you don't got no money. God has it all. Lean into him. But parents, as we talk about this gift, can I be honest with you? I haven't opened the gift that you've given me. I really haven't. I really haven't. But you know, the greatest thing I can give my children is not a cruise. It's not a vacation. It's not an internship when they get older. It's not a 401k. You can't take that kind of stuff to heaven. I am the best father to my child when I become the best child to my father. What good is working all those hours for that boss that can't get you into heaven? What good is all that money you can't take to heaven? What good is pulling that Sunday shift to make a couple extra dollars and they never get connected to some kids that are gonna love them, some good Christian kids, some good Christian leaders? What good is it? That's why my children have to catch me clinging to Jesus. And you know what having children taught me? The greatest gift of all? My children taught me what God felt and what God feels for me. It's a small taste of how much he loves me, I feel for my children. It's the greatest gift he gave me. Not too long ago, I took my daughters to our first daddy-daughter dance, okay? And man, we look good. Oh boy, I was hurting them. And my daughters got their dress. We got in line and I paid the admission for the dance. And we're waiting in line and I'm holding both their hands, and I hadn't been on a first date in a while, so my chest, I'm kind of nervous. And all of a sudden I hear a couple girls from behind us go, "Salem Asher!" And immediately I feel them leave my hands to go play with these little girls. But I'm like, they're gonna dance with me, like they're just hanging out. And then we walk in and I stand on the side of the gym where everyone's dancing, and I'm watching my daughters. They're having fun, just not with me, the one who paid the price to get in to the dance. But all of a sudden they run up and they go, "Dad, here's Madeline's dad, talk to him." said, I didn't pay for Madeline's dad to dance. And then they started dancing. I paid the price so they could dance. I taught them how to dance. I showed them music for the first time. I gave them confidence to dance in public. And immediately God said, now you see what happens when you leave me for someone else. I'm stuck on the side wishing I could dance with you. He said, that's why I sent you your children. Every job you've chased, every guy you've chased, every woman you've chased, every position you've chased, I paid the price. I taught you everything. And now I'm standing here, wishing you'd dance, wishing you'd spend time with me, wishing you'd talk to me. The greatest thing I can give my daughters, the greatest father I can be to my child, is when I become the greatest child in the presence of my Father. Can I pray for somebody in here? I don't know who you are. Maybe you've been struggling with infertility, that God would begin to break your heart for people that don't have a family. That you've believed the lies of the enemies that you'll never parent. No, that is not true. That is not true. I got 2 biological kids. I got about 5,000 kids that reach out to me on Instagram all the time because I prayed for them one time. And they go, hey, I just wanted to send you a picture. I just want you to come to my graduation just because I was there. You'll have too many birthdays to go to. You'll have too many graduations to go to. You'll get tired. You'll go, why'd I do this? Why'd I do this? But I really want to talk to somebody. Hey, single mom. One, I love you. I love you. Thank you. I know people don't see you. I see you. God sees you. Keep showing up. Man, you don't know who you've got in that house. Whew. You don't know. My mom didn't know. Now she does, though. And maybe you're just a parent that, man, you just don't understand what you're doing. You need a vision. They're a gift. Let's start unpacking it, deal? Let's unpack it. Let's figure out where they're taking you. You're not taking your kids somewhere. I think they're taking you somewhere. Can I keep it a buck? They're taking you somewhere, and today we learned that. What are these presents I got in the house? Let me open them. Let me open it. Let me open it. Lord, we love you. We thank you. We praise you. We honor you, Lord. You have been so good to us. You have been so, so good to us. And God, I'm sorry when I have ignored the gift you've sent me. For the single mom in here that's tired, that you would lift her up on wings like eagles, but that in her tired, her children would see, well, working harder than anyone else, how that can create movement and traction and a blessing. For the person that's infertile in this house right now, God, I pray that they would begin to see children not as what they don't have, but the people and the kids around them as opportunities to step into, to begin to pray for, show up for, hug, speak life into. And for the family that looks perfect on social media, but to be honest, they don't got it figured out. They don't know what they're doing. That they would sit down and go, God, why did you send these children? I want to get out of them everything, but I want them to pull out everything in me. And today, we give our lives to you. We give our hearts to you. We're sorry when we've left you on the side of the dance to pursue every other thing. And the last thing we've given our children, the last thing we've given our families, the last thing we've given our life is a relationship with you. Not no more. Not no more. Not no more. Lord, we love you. We love you. We love you. It's your name we pray. And everybody said, amen. Thank you. Thank you.